Hello everybody, welcome back to Motorsport Manager, third race of the 2017 season in Rio, second season for Thotimx Racing, and I thought about going back and getting a reserve driver. Obviously Papior was the only real option there, and I said, you know what, no, we're going to continue saving the money, investing in the HQ. We're not going to get enough better results that it's going to matter all that much. Not yet. Not until our car part's getting up to snuff. That's the deal here. Fuji Television says the brakes are holding the team back. Yep, we're going to work on improving them. Marketability goes down by 10%. Oh well. It's the truth. It's not really my fault that they're awful. I've been working on improving them, but nonetheless. 12.36 seconds, our fastest pit stop. The one I checked was the fastest one. Got a new scouting report, Nico Kari. Okay, here's some decent feedback, but probably too... Interesting. They'll pay us $266,000 for each race they're involved in, 50% if they take part in practice only. So, $133K. This would be so we would only have to pay the remainder of that. Prefer a short contract, fine with me. Wages aren't very important. Reserve driver, not important, not important, not important. Okay, wages are not very important. So let's say we were able to get them for that amount. It says the wages aren't very important. Doesn't have a lot of patience. You know what? I'll start there, and then I'll be willing to go up one more. Either one of these is less than $100,000 a race, assuming that I put them out here as a reserve. That's an amount of money that I can live with. So let's go ahead and go with that, which will only be 50-some thousand after his sponsor pay kicks in. And then he's got marketability, so that may help our overall team situation. Dive in and look at our pit crew. Do we have more high-ranking people available? We sure do. 95 with an 11 in tires. You're coming along. 10 in tires. 72 is pretty low, though. Definitely don't want you. Or you. I think we want the 10 in tires, though. Then we can always rotate people out. Okay, so let's see what we have. Got 12 on the front jack, 11 on the rear, and nobody that's better than that. But this is an 11 with 94. They also got 94. So I think I want to stick with who we've got out there now. Grouses, let's get you out on the tires. Place a Peters. That'll improve our speed. Same thing for you. Now you're only going to be out there occasionally. But we'll put you out there for the moment. Cronin needs some rest. And we'd have to get a better replacement for Dunn to improve that at all. See, Hernandez is the backup on the front jack. And then we've got a bunch of backups here. I don't think we need that many backups. Backup on the rear jack. Do we need wood? Bulkin, I think we could get rid of. Low stamina, and only now relatively backup on the tires. DeVos, pretty similar situation. Yeah, we can get rid of you as well. And that brings us back down to 6 backups. So I like that. Going to stick with that group. We're working on, of course, the big new engine, and we need to get our car repairs done. Taking a bit longer these days for that. Another scouting report. Okay. Pretty solid all-around driver, really. Not a great marketability, just solid. This would be the kind of guy I'd probably like to get potentially for next year. But right now, nothing too exciting there. And for Rio, engine, suspension, spoiler, all critical. Got more sponsor stuff coming in, so that'll be nice. Okay, anything... Yeah, I want to boost these up to 80%, and then gradually, as that's happening, be pulling them out and get this engine in there. And if possible, I'd like to throw this engine out there in the next race, but we'd have to get the reliability up high enough to sustain that. So I only want to go maybe 3 days at a time here. Oh my, this had wanted that over here. Okay, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Contract offer accepted. Excellent. $192,000 for just the rest of this year. You will replace Natalie Thorian. That's only going to cost us, as it showed there, $58,000 more per race due to the sponsor pay agreement he's got. That should boost what they think of our overall drivers. Heard good things about this team. From who? Was previously driving for MP Motorsport, is weighing to move away from the Dutch outfit. Will now be driving for Thotimx Racing. Going for the chance to impress in practice. Deal's worth $2.3 per year. And MP Motorsport, Formula 2. So he was driving in the middle tier of the single-seaters. That's interesting. Okay, so hopefully I'm done screwing up in the factory now. Those are boosting a little bit. Let's get a couple more days in. Alright, we're going to pull out the brakes. That suspension, and we're going to put you in there. You're up to 81%. Let's yank you out. Okay, this is going to be done before the race. Excellent. So be able to boost up to this engine. And then that's really going to help us out in terms of our performance. Can we get rid of him? He's not exactly the greatest mechanic in the world. Well, what's her morale at right now? Okay. Her morale is great. So I'm comfortable in telling her no. I would like to get a better mechanic. She's not wrong. I would like to get a better mechanic. He's a problem. But right now I don't think it's worth the expense. So I'm going to say no. Well, look at our suspension going way down, but it's 10th, 12th, 12th. So our engine is still 12th while it rates it above the average line. Yeah, obviously that's not accurate. Once we start getting these parts out there. Matter of fact, let me just see what happens, because I'm going to want to do this anyway. Let's switch the parts out. So nobody's going to be in that one. You come here. Then you work on that. So he's got a much better engine, but hers is still up. It's up 50 points from the one she was using previously. He's just got a lot better one. And then, if we take a look in here, yeah. With those two in the car, now we're up to 7th, middle of the pack with our engines. That's a beautiful thing. Now, it still says we're overall last, but that's still a gain. And of course, this is going to keep gaining. Up to 57% there. Let's go a few more days. We've got a great opportunity to tell everyone what you think about the track vote next week. Rio Hooray. Now, I've thought about this, and I actually think that this would really help us. I think I'm going to vote for it and worry about the other stuff later. And that's because I'm starting to think more long term. I feel like we're going to be able to potentially be competitive next year as we keep... So I'm not as worried about slowing down the part development, because if we're competitive next year, then we'll start looking to what we want to do to promote. And once you promote, you're going to have to probably develop all the parts anyway. Guildford would give us another... It's not the fact that I like or dislike the race. It's just the idea of having another race. One more race means another race to get sponsor money in from, and that kind of thing, and it means a better financial basis for the team. So I want to go for this edition. Tell us you're thinking ahead of the vote. And I'm just saying, yeah, I'd love to see it on the calendar. Can you say for certain will be good for you? There's always a sliver of doubt, but I'm quietly confident. I'm going to go with that. Up to 71%. Alright, so then I'm going to work on switching into this. And actually, no, because how long till our next engine? 10 days. It's going to be just after the race. And then we'll want to work on that one. So I don't see any reason to put reliability effort into that. What I do think I want to do is get up to 80%. And then as soon as it hits 80, I want to switch everybody over into here and improving that. I think that's the best way to go. So we're actually going to use that engine at all. So let's boost this one as much as we can. Alright, in CompTU Racing, one of our rivals has improved their factory. So they've joined us in that category. Rio de Janeiro, 35 laps, 3-point-something miles. We actually do get a lap record reading. I'm sure it'll take us longer than that. Expecting some rain, but we're not. Engines are the key part. And the GMA is set to meet. Looking forward to that vote now that I've changed what I'm going to do with it. 84%. I didn't want to go quite that far. Okay. So let's slide over here, and we're going to almost finish maxing out this, which should give Hughes an even better engine for the race. Okay, forecasting center. Robert Doyle, race mechanic, wants that. That would be nice. Give the drivers a plush motorhome to hang out in. Yeah, that's not really what I'm... Greater insight into weather conditions. Useful coming to plot out your pit strategy. That I agree. But I don't think we're at the point where we want to work on that just yet. We found a leak. The parts reliably be out of the window if we can't fix it. What should we do? Do I accept a minus 50 reliability on her engine or fix it for 500K? I do have another engine I could use for her. Okay, 632,000 a race now. But we're going to be getting more sponsors in. It's only a fraction of our profit for one race. That's the amount we're talking about here. Just go ahead and fix it. See where we're at here. 85%. And we're up to 6th now, decidedly above average in the engine department. And that's only going to get better. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We're still last overall. But I can see that potentially coming up. Suspension is still near average, but the spoiler and the brakes, not so much. And we'll be moving over to those before too much longer. Now, what do we have now? Did I miss a vote? Or miss a message? Nope. Okay. DTM running its 3rd race of the year in Doha. Sport Team Aptus, of course, we're going to expect them to win. De Silvestro. But then they say the car is likely to struggle. So which way is it going to do it? Likely to struggle this weekend? Rio was never going to be our strongest race. It's not going to be easy. Oh well. We'll have to deal. And it's time for the new vote, but first, let's look at Marco Lindemann. Well, I suppose the good news is that he's cheaper than he normally would be, but the bad news is he's not worth hiring in any case. So, goodbye to that. Let's get this voting done. And we're going to vote for and use both of our votes for it. Three to nothing for, but Schulte voting against. Romano voting against. Ugh. Oh my goodness, people. No! Yeah. Well, that fails badly. 8 to 4. I was half of the votes for it. They like things just the way they are. That is a short-sighted view, people. More races means more money, which is better for all of us. Well, we'll definitely be abstaining in the points for all drivers. Might do a little bit of voting towards the end in the part development ones, but I'm not that concerned about what happens in those. Probably retain most of my votes for the next year. That was my big effort, and boy did it fail. Almost there. Time to head off to Rio. Let's see what sponsors we have. 17th or above. Or just a fixed pay of $550K. That's close enough to the others that I'm just going to take it. And that should boost us, yep, back up to well over $1 million per race. Day plus there on the new part. And of course, most of this going to fuel our work here. Still over 2 months until our staff center is completed. Still just 10th overall. We've got to get some of these smaller buildings added in as we continue to work on that. And we are expecting to be 23rd and 24th. So again, it hasn't changed our expectation, but let's see about Pankowitz. And her whole affair exposed thing is over. She's back up to being a 2.5-star driver. 100% marketability. So I'm hoping we should get some stronger results out of her this year, at least this race rather, at least compared to before. Okay, so let's put out there Pankowitz and then Kari in the second car. Get him out there, get that money in. And a little bit of a shift to the high speed. Definitely some understeer. And I don't see us using ultras. I'm going to switch to supers. Now this, I mean, he's only got 10 feedback, so this is not a huge gain. But 10 compared to 7, it is something. Maybe it can get us some level 2 instead of level 1. And that's what I'm hoping for in terms of the race trim. Temperature is going to be hot and rising. Again, we will definitely want these super softs on. Let's see how practice goes. 7.0 for Pankowitz. And hold on. Yeah, race trim. Okay. Kari, get out there with your cruddy starting form. Of course, the larger car model for Sport Team App relegated down and ruling the roost here in the WTCR 2017 season. It's like a fairly even distribution of tires per usual. Speed this up now. Likes the gearing, likes the cornering balance. You can see the tires heating up. With a longer track, we're still probably only going to get level 1 trim. Might be able to get level 2 on the shorter tracks with this pair. Might. There we are, approaching halfway. Took us almost 5 minutes. Pankowitz just said something, I think, about the handling that I missed as I was blathering on, so I'm going to have to play that by ear. Since our tires are heating up, let's go ahead and come in. Make a few adjustments. Really no pressure here since we're only going to get to level 1. We can get to, looks like the way things are going, we get to like level 1 and 2/3, but it's not close enough that I feel there's any real shot at getting to level 2. So our typical level 1 plus nail the setup concept. Kari with the faster lap does not really surprise me, given how much stronger the engine is in that car. And that's clearly an above average, even good engine now. 86% for her. Looking pretty good except for the cornering. And I'm not sure which way to go on that. Let's see what he says. He thinks it's pretty good at the lower speed. So definitely at lower speed, cornering is the deal here. Let's go ahead and work it that way. Maybe about there. Let's let this go to a little bit more speed, and then right about there, maybe tweak this up just a bit. Okay, let's try that. Let's see how that works out. And then Kari, what do you think? You think that you're good across the board, so we just need little adjustments. Let's try that. And as much of a reason to come in as any is just we're going to switch around and cool off the tires. Give us a few more laps at higher speed. So over a 2-minute track, at least for these vehicles. Okay, doesn't like the weight distribution, but Pankowitz does. So more of a moderate middle-of-the-road ballast situation is what it looks like we're going for here. No reason not to bring him in to change it. Her too. I think we're definitely into start and stop territory now. It's okay. We'll make those adjustments. That's why we're out here. Well, got the handling right, but the overall picture worse. So we want more high-speed cornering. We're going to want to be close to the end there. And then more speed as well. Really, or no, less speed. More acceleration down to there. Yep. Well, that partly takes care of it. That'll be closer. May not be quite there, but it'll definitely be closer. Pankowitz is almost there. 96%. It's a little more work on the ballast. That was poor. So I'm just going to try to slide this that way and see what happens, and then adjust this other stuff later. Right now I just want to find out where that spot is for the ballast. And with this little time left, I don't think we're going to be able to come back in. So any more little adjustments we have to make, we will make at the beginning of qualifying. We may have one start and stop at the beginning of qualifying and then go for setting our times. '20th and 23rd. Well, could be worse, and it was worse last week. Nothing particularly interesting here from social media after practice. Yep, but we're definitely not quite there. So let's go around once on ultras. First of all, on the tires, they are that little bit faster. I think that's better than a 5% bonus, so I am going to qualify on those. But let's adjust. Went from 96 down to 92. Okay, poor, great, and good. So we want to dial that back. And this was right where it is. Okay, so I want to start there. And then just go like that. Give that a whirl. And then we're up to 96%. We're really close. Let's dial in the speed. So good. Okay. And great. So a little bit more acceleration. Let's try just doing that and see if that gets us there. And of course, with the fast qualifying, we're only going to have time for one of these. A start and stop, and then we're going to need to get out there. And of course, things are going to tend to be a little bit different, but right now, weight-wise, Hughes and, at least for this setup, Hughes and Kari seem to be compatible. Didn't change that rating at all. Okay. So we could wait some. We could wait to get down to maybe 3.5 minutes, something like that. We're up to 98% here. See, pour. This was great, and this was also great. So I probably just want to tweak it just that little bit more. I'm going to try that. And I'd like to be able to make further adjustments afterwards if the time isn't right. So let's go ahead, switch tires, get you out there for an effort. That'll give us plenty of time to make changes to Hughes in between. So 5.5, decent. But of course our best shot at a good qualifying time is going to be coming from that powerful engine in the car of Jake Hughes. That should do it. Oh, we're right on the button. We're changing nothing. We're taking that 98% and loving it. And getting out there to set a time. Again, I could wait a little bit longer for the track grip to go up. But I'm just going to roll with it. And Pankowitz's setup is complete. Lock in Hughes here. 6.94. Pankowitz's form sucks, but his doesn't. 7.0. So all signs point to him potentially having a strong time here. And by comparison, that 80K bonus isn't a lot. 79K, but it's enough to give us something. Every little bit matters. Putting that money away to invest it back in the HQ. Pankowitz 0.3 seconds behind the pace here. And if we're within a second, I would be thrilled with that. But we're not going to be, okay. Of course, not every sector is the same length. They're roughly equal, but they're not exactly the same, and there's different terrain in terms of turns and straightaways. Most of the tracks so far, we seem to do a lot better on the first and third sector than we do on the last. .64. So just behind Nagy and Oriola. And there's Hughes, who is mean, almost half a second ahead of where she was. Wow. Third. That is remarkable. I don't know if that's going to pan out into anything in the race, but Jake Hughes just laid down a great third segment and finished a 30th of a second off the pace. That was not far from getting us a couple of points and sitting on the pole. While Pankowitz is last, third and last. What a difference an engine and some strong driver form makes. Hoping Pankowitz can pick it up for the race, because she actually should be the better driver now with that scandal stuff over with. Still not going to be as strong as his engine, obviously, but I'd like to see her pick it up nonetheless. On we go. We're not so much better than anybody. Wow, Susie Perry picking us to win. She's obviously talking about Hughes. If I was in the press, I'd be like, that was remarkable. But I'll believe it when I see them do it again in the race. You know, I wouldn't be like, yeah, I'm going to pick them. No. Okay, super soft and race trim, particularly given our fuel efficiency. Then I'm going to go with the race trim and the faster tire changes. Because that gives us enough time that, I think it's going to be better than that 5% increase. Okay, both cars looking right on the button. We've got a 99% for Pankowitz, who is at a 6. Hughes only at a 4 at 98%. And of course, we're going to go all out on fuel. We are going to be changing up some things here, though. Let's get some tires going, because 35 laps. I think we want to go with 2 super softs for Pankowitz, because she's in the back. But up front, look at our temperature. It's so hot. It's so hot, but nonetheless, since he's up front, trying to maintain his position, 35 laps. We got 17 plus W44. There's significant leeway there. I think I can afford to put him out on ultras, particularly since he's going with the fuel stop strategy in terms of his bonus knowledge. So we're going to have definitely an asymmetrical pit strategy. And for the tire wear, we're going to push at first, but not for long. And then also, let's go with high here, but not for super long. Now for the last track, you know, going high for 1 lap wasn't enough. I'm going to try going high for 2 laps and see if I can get away with that. Got to figure out how that's going to balance out, because I end up pushing more later in the race. Hughes now bumped up his estimate to an 8. Pankowitz down to 4. So they kind of switched places there. But she was very close behind Nagy and Oriola. So I'm curious to see if she is stuck in last or if she can make some kind of a move. And then, of course, the reliability of the other drivers is going to be huge as well. Obviously, we're going to ride with Hughes up towards the front. And he makes a push past Giovanardi, and looks like Decker was going for that but didn't quite get there. Pankowitz in last. Hughes barely holding off a few drivers here for that second spot. May not last. Nope, he's going to slip to third. but he's acquitting himself credibly. They're not running by him either. Third and fourth fight between Hughes and Decker. He's on the inside of this set of turns. Starting to get sandwiched by a couple cars. They're really, but at the same time, he's within half a second of the lead. So there's just a lot of competition up here. Hughes now dropping to fourth. Tires heating up. I'm going to switch back to neutral. I'd like to be able to stay at that for as long as I can. Hughes picking it back up to third now. So I'll go back down to neutral on the gas after this lap. We're in third and last. Going into lap 2. Let's see how long Hughes can hang on. Shedden right behind. And now he slips to fourth, but right there with third and second. Trying to slip back in between. Fourth and third. Tight racing here, except for Panis, who has accelerated away 3 seconds away from the field. And Hughes now looks like he's starting to give way. We're going to go back to conserve. And we'll do that with Pankowitz as well. And she's not really getting anywhere back there. I'll go to medium on the tires and neutral for as long as we can stand it. She'll go to medium and conserve. So now we're settled in, at least we hope a bit. Hughes has lost some ground to sixth. Pankowitz, of course, still in last. We'll see what happens when we get the engines sorted out and they both have roughly equal gear as they ramp up parts across the board throughout this season. But right now I am seeing no evidence at all that Pankowitz is actually a better driver than Hughes, even though that's what the ratings say. Or maybe the engine's just that important because I've given him the better engine since the start of the year. She does have the better part in every other category though. Does it make that much of a difference? Anyway, we'll see how all that stuff shakes out over the course of the year. Yeah, okay, you're too high. We got to go down to conserve. So I do still need to get a dozen or so laps out of this. Go back up to neutral for Pankowitz because I want her to be able to take advantage of anything that might come up. Nagy's tires much better ahead. That's sort of the problem there, whether or not she can even get by. Hughes' form is strong. And this is the track where last year, and I'm going to do it again, I would conserve on the tires through this whole loop here, and then once they start getting into all that, I would increase the tires, because I think they're more important. I could be wrong, but I think they're more important in the twisty parts of the track. And we are not gaining much in terms of fuel. We may have to back off later in the race. Maybe I should have stuck with one. meaning one lap at the beginning that I was pushing on. Pankowitz continuing to stay right behind Nagy, but unable to make any sort of move, continuing to degrade her tires faster. Let's go ahead and go neutral here. .8 for Hughes, holding in 6th. His tires are about as worn as anyone's in the field, but I still think he should be able to get where we need him to get, which is sort of low teens on the lap counter. And Hughes actually looking slightly faster than DuPont ahead, but not fast enough to make a pass. At least not right now. Look at a quarter second. He's looking for a way by, and DuPont probably faster than Katzberg. So there's just sort of this jam, and it'd be nice to pick up a spot or two, but it is what it is. Looking to get to the inside there, he might have it. Hughes making the pass up to 5th now. He's going to have some company. But right now, he's holding it. Very nice. So let's assume he held 5th. That would move us as a team up to 8th. And Hughes up to 11th. Now he's slipping to 6th. Maybe. I think this next turn is going to go against him. Yep. So DuPont got back ahead of him. Same order there. Katzberg and DuPont. Boy, as much as I hate to do it, I've got to go conserve again. As he slips to 7th. This is just, I mean, he's right there with him, and I feel just that little bit of driver skills holding him back. Yeah, he slipped back to 6.7. He was up to 8 on the form. He's really got to drive well to keep up with this group. But then there he goes again, picking up a couple spots on the inside, up to 5th, and then losing it. And let's go neutral again. Oh, we got a slide back conserve for Pankowitz. Got her tires out of sorts while I was focusing on this. Of course, she's got plenty of tires, so that's not going to hurt her that much. Hughes up to 5th. Getting by Decker, and then loses it again. Tense racing here in the middle of the top 10, and he gets it back. Claire Decker right behind and looking to get through again. I'm going to go conserve a bit again here. A lot longer than that you haven't. Yeah, we're gaining almost nothing on the fuel. So unfortunately, got to remember Rio is a tough track for that. We're definitely going to have to go low. I might have had to do that even with one lap, but definitely going to have to go low on the gas later in the race. Hughes trying to fight off the challenge now from DuPont, and for the moment doing so. Hughes cut the corner. I think he could have avoided it. No action taken. He got away with it. Up to 4th. Well, that is some pure hogwash, Jake Hughes. I do believe that's the first time I've benefited from cheating. Unintentionally, Well, unintentionally on my part. I'm not sure it's unintentional on Jake Hughes' part. Switch back up to neutral for Pankowitz, who hangs out in last. Just not fast enough, even with a 7.2. I guess that engine, the difference is just enough that the car doesn't have the strength. Let's go conserve. Prefer to do that in other parts of the track, but we are like 4 seconds behind De Silvestro. There's big gaps here. 1.4 seconds ahead of Katzberg, Decker, so on. But we're losing some of that gap. I want to conserve here while we've got the edge and then use neutral to try to hold them off once they catch us. Well, but they're not doing that. We're slowly pulling away. If I get a chance here, I will use low and back off the gas. So I'm not sure it'd be better to do it here versus later in the race. Let's switch to neutral and low though. I'd like to get that down to like a 10th at the rate that we're going. Switch back to conserve. And Pankowitz, I'd like to stay out there till about lap 18. But Hughes, maybe 14. Maybe less than that. But he's holding the lead. He's getting that fuel back in line. I've got an opportunity to do that without losing positions. So I think I want to take advantage. It's still taking a while here. We are very, very slowly gaining back fuel even on the medium. It's just like it's 100th of a lap every few laps. Okay, now they're starting to catch us. I'm going to switch back to medium. So we gained a few hundredths, not nearly as much as I wanted to. We're definitely going to have to do a few more laps at low later. Let's not let anybody catch us if we can avoid it. I think 14 is where I want to come in, so a couple more laps for Hughes. Of course, he'll have a quick stop. Gotta go conserve for a bit. Let's hope we can hold off Decker in the meantime. Decker's tires are, I think, worse. We are at what? 39%? Decker? 46. No, his tires are better. Okay, I think we're going to lose the spot, but that's enough for me to go neutral. Lost it just for a hair. Only driving at 5.9. 2 laps to go now. Let's go conserve. Just use that around the loop. Same for Pankowitz. And now we'll go neutral here. And Pankowitz has been right behind Nagy since this race began and has never been able to do anything about it. Tires getting a bit into the red. Switch to conserve now. This will be the final lap for Hughes on the Ultras. Let's get him set up for his super softs. And of course, 6-second pit stop now. Chance to save several seconds there. I'm going to wait a bit more, and now we'll go neutral. Pankowitz driving well, about 4 more laps of this for her. So she's pretty much equal to the worst of the competition. Well, Hughes, significantly better. Holding at 27 degrees. And I believe Hughes is going to be the first car to come in. So those ahead of him continuing. Some of them have pretty messed up tires, and we'll see how far this sets us back. Fast tire change and out. Stick on medium. But it still drops him to last. Let's go boost up to neutral for Pankowitz. I would hope that she does not slow him down much. But if he catches up, I'm definitely going to have her let Hughes by. He's clearly got the stronger car. And we're going to be looking at I'm just kind of debating on whether to do it, but I am going to go to low. Both cars. Let's get that, while we're not in any traffic, let's get that fuel back. Cars are going to be coming into the pits, and I may not gain as many positions going back up. Oh, Panis has to repair. But I want that fuel so I can go neutral to maintain. So it's a tough call on whether to do it or not. Oriol and Panis repairing. Giovinardi just going back further. So we're up to 20th and 21st. Oriol is spending a lot of time in there. I need to get down to at least like 0.04, 0.05 on the gas. So we still need to stick with this. To 19th and 20th. There we go. That was not too close. It was fine. I don't want you to get past Hughes. It'll be fine. Both drivers back off to conserve. Hughes a second plus behind Nagy, driving better with the faster engine. And the fuel is coming. It's not there yet, but it's coming. You can see the cars still out there in Ultras, except for De Silvestro, who's done a better job conserving them, probably because she's a much smoother driver. Otherwise, they're starting to fall back through the field and lose a bunch of time because they're staying out too long. And there's a bunch of them coming in. Hughes up to 19th, 9.0. And now we are 15th and 16th. And as it is the 18th lap, Pankowitz, it's time for you to head in. You're going to have a longer pit stop, because you do not have that ability. And that's another thing that's just going to, of course, act in Hughes' favor and make him the stronger driver as this goes on. See if you can hold back Decker at all. Maybe not, but give it a shot. And Hughes, even driving super conservatively, coming up on these guys. So as soon as I get his fuel a little bit lower, we're going to go after making some passes. And also holding off Decker. I want to get it to 0.04. Oh, there's another competitor coming in to repair. (12.468). That's a nice stop. Let's go with low and neutral. There we go. Now, Hughes, you go medium and neutral. Let's see if you can make any hay here. You're 14th. You've got fresher tires in the several cars ahead of you. Can you get by Nagy? We'll try to work our way back up into that top 10. These cars will eventually have to pit. But to really consistently finish high, you've got to work your way through traffic sometimes. Can't always strategize around it. Now we're going to try to get Pankowitz down to about that same fuel level, and then she'll boost as well. Hughes' form dropping. It was over 9, now it's down to like the 7s. Still good. May not be good enough to make this happen. So yeah, he's gaining. He's definitely gaining on them. He's faster. Can he make the pass? Boy, thought he could have ducked to the inside there. I expect him to actually get by here eventually. But sooner would be better than later. Decker's right behind. And now Decker threatening to get by us. Switching to medium now with Pankowitz, who is in 21st. Always catch up on that straight, but I can't come out of the turn close enough to make the pass. Trying to get to the outside, not working there. Stay ahead of Decker. Looks like we're going to be able to do that. Come on, stay ahead. Nope. There goes Decker. So Hughes now back to 15th. We might as well conserve here for a bit. And then Decker getting by Nagy, which, as you might expect, is a little easier. Now we might be able to make a move here with the sandwich sort of situation while they're close together. Or not. Go conserve again. Couple more cars coming in for repairs. That should get us a couple spots. Hughes up to 13th. And it won't be too much longer until some more of these start coming in for normal pit stops. Pankowitz up to 20th. So I'm still envisioning a top 10 finish for Hughes. But definitely could be better. I think clearly Decker is going to beat us. Shedden, Silvestro. And DuPont won't fall all the way back down to us. Like, oh well, no, maybe now he's going to with the repairs. Top 5 even is not at all out of the question for Hughes once all these come in and do their pit stops. 2 more coming in for repairs. And others just coming in, period. Okay, so 7th now. Hughes' form is down considerably. How many of them will fall by Pankowitz? Oh, she's up to 17th. Nagy may very well get by. Probably will. See, 0.02 and 0.01. But, you know, if Pankowitz can get to that top 15 finish, that would be nice. She's not quite there, but she's in striking range of it. Meanwhile, Hughes, 11-12 laps to go. And we're going to see Morbidelli and Berman come in soon. That should move us up to 5th. Eventually, Georgi's going to have to come in. That would move us up to 4th. There they go. Go conserve here. And Georgi's coming in and repairing. So I think right now we're looking at Hughes' final finishing position. Now, we can't guarantee we're going to hold off Giovanardi and Hamola, but we're sure going to try. And I think I can double speed this now. Pankowitz is going to go back and forth on the tires. And then Hughes is going to most conserve. Okay. There's Giovanardi now starting to have mechanical problems. 10-11 laps to go. Probably doesn't beat us for the rest of the race. Hughes, we're having a spoiler issue. So he's starting to have a mechanical problem as well. If Hughes' form would just get back up, this would be foregone. But as it is, I think I want to conserve on these looping stretches. And then go neutral. And he's up to even Steven now on fuel. So is Pankowitz. Shouldn't be any pit stops except for repair issues the rest of the way, pretty much. Everybody's come in for their one. Tires looking good pretty much across the board. We'll conserve here, and we're barely holding off Giovanardi. Gotta switch to neutral. Come on. Okay. Still making it happen. I don't know if we're going to keep it there. If we do, wow, we'd be up to 6th overall. And look at Hughes. Up to 9th individually. Got a little bit of a gap now. We're going to go conserve again. Well, Pankowitz definitely has plenty of tire to push now. Or not push, but go up to medium. Neutral through the winding second half of the track. Silvestro goes wide, race leader. Looks like it's not going to be enough to knock her off. Hughes' form has bounced back up to quality. Not great, but quality. Pankowitz driving great, but still stuck down there. Giovanardi now a little closer, but we're still going to back it off. Holding solid at 5.3. And we now will, at the end of this one, we will have 6 laps to go. Teammate Hamola with Giovanardi, both of them trying to catch Hughes, but right now he's got the position. Each lap I'm getting a little bit more wear available for the tires. I want to be able to go neutral through the last couple laps if I can. Because if they make that final furious push, and then you also look at the overall time. Now part of it's because of the faster pit stop, but we're just barely over 30 seconds off the lead, and all kinds of good stuff happening here. Let's definitely go conserve. Now over a second gap, and we are actually gaining on Decker. Not going to pass Decker, but we're gaining. Friends goes wide. Was 12th, drops back to 13th. Just over 4 laps to go now. We're almost there. Pankowitz with a good gap on either side. Let's take a look at how we're doing here. Yep, down 23%, but it's still working. This may be the last lap we do much conserving. Maybe one more, probably one more. Make sure we've got everything. We're now pulling away from Giovinardi. Okay, Bernardi retiring with mechanical problems. That sucks for him because he was in 5th. On the other hand, our spoiler is now a serious issue, while Pankowitz having a couple minor issues. So I think what that tells me, ooh, much better form. I think I need to go up to 85% in reliability. I want to make that my new normal so that this doesn't happen. Pankowitz up to 16th. Unfortunately, the morale cutoff for your finish, or marketability, is at 15th. So she would need one more spot. I don't know why I have her on conserve for that long. Hughes driving fantastic. Holding about 6 seconds back of Decker. And is about to come into the final lap. Let's go ahead and push, use the rest of that tire for Pankowitz just because. Jake Hughes, you enjoy a normal speed final lap here because you are setting a new best for the team. 1 spot off the podium. Our finest finish yet. We even cheated a little bit to get it, but nonetheless, a new team high. As we wind our way through the final turns here, we are starting to put Thotimx Racing on the map just a little bit. We're getting some quality results. Not award-winning yet. Quality results. Back-to-back top 10s with the second driver in the teens. Fueled mostly by our better reliability, but that engine now that Hughes is with, that's starting to make an impact as well. He's happy with it. Berman retires just short of the finish line. And I think that's going to get Pankowitz that 15th finish. Oh my goodness. Nope, it doesn't. Berman retires after having finished the race, or are some of these other cars a lap down? I don't think they're far enough behind to be a lap down. How do you retire? Like, they retired when Hamola finished, so they retired but maybe drifted over the finish line? I'm not sure how that works. In any case, De Silvestro wins again. Yeah, says they retired, but then they didn't lose any spots, and there's only a 4-second gap here. So that doesn't make any sense. Hughes was given a 10-second penalty for cutting that corner. Okay. But it was not enough to drop him any further than 4th. Then the pole position from Panis didn't pan out rather in the race at all. So Hughes is now 8th overall. We had 2 points all of last year, and after 3 races of this year, we have 14 points. And we are in 6th position, the middle of the pack. We are respectable now, for the moment, briefly. Everybody's celebrating Sylvester and Silvestro, and yes, death taxes and BRC is terrible. Gladly, those statements are not being made about us. Another strong job by the drivers overall. No additional traits for Pankowitz. Hughes, top 5 result, gives him a nice marketability boost. And look at him, he's up to 2.5 now overall. Like the 2.5 star rating. You can see he actually gained some to his stats here. And he's almost ready to get another consistency gain. And you can see like the amounts of the gains and everything. And that's the first time we've seen a boost. That's very nice. He's 6.5 on the year. That was his best performance. She's at 6.6 on the year. That's really strong form. It's just middling results. Neither driver, though, finishing... We have yet to not finish 19th or better. So I think we can start aiming for some better results soon with the sponsors. Like, I want to start going for sponsor bonuses maybe in the low teens. Not necessarily top 10 because other teams are not going to be doing as much repairing later in the year. But we can still get some benefit from it. 1.3 million. Our new engine is here. We got a bunch of new pit crew to look at. We've got all kinds of fun stuff to have happen. We've got 2.5 weeks until Beijing. But of course, the big news is that we no longer completely suck. The lone American team in the WTCR is not a force to be reckoned with, but we're no longer the doormats. So we'll see. Very interesting to see how the rest of the year goes and how far up we're able to push. Heading off to China next. Till then, thanks for watching, everybody. More Motorsport Manager coming up soon.